So the time has finally come again, the time for Easter. And for that, of course, it is time for decoration. And I have already finished my decorations, but I will show you guys how it is looking. So up here, I have placed a corkscrew hassle, or as we call it here, trollgren or trollhassel, with plenty of small decorations, small eggs and some small bunnies and so on. And I located it free in my living room. And I must say I am quite satisfied with how it turned out. There's one up here in the corner. Looking very nice. And of course here is the table for my guest who is gonna come here in some 2-3 hours. It's gonna be very enjoyable. Oh yeah, and I had to make some small decorations also. So these are some small 3D prints, and I had to paint the eyes on it. So I didn't waste too much materials. Here's another kind. They are quite cute. And of course, one that's sitting. So yeah, these ones I took them and placed them some different places in my house. So as you can see here on my shelves, they're just standing like this, looking very nice. And here in the corner, oh, hello for it. So, hello. You come sir. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Wow, go stretch. So this is my living room's decoration planning. Yeah, and as you saw, those small bunnies, they are located all over my house. So make a little fun game out of it. And then of course we are gonna have some eating time. So the idea is that everybody is taking some with them, and we are just gonna place it everywhere. So we'll have some nice tasty food together. So that's gonna be very enjoyable. Yeah, I can need some attention. And of course, as you can see again, made some these small bunnies and the trollgren also. Yeah, det er så dejligt. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and of course here in my hall, we have some small lights with the small bunnies also sitting and keeping a watch with some eggs underneath it. It's looking very nice. Yeah. And of course here, and some flowers. So everything is just looking very nice in there. Other than that, I tried to make some other 3D prints. The first ones, they were actually quite satisfying and they printed flawlessly. So the first ones I printed something like these. Small bunnies from Makerworld. Lovely design. I will link them in the description if you would like to have some of yourself. So I printed 4 of these, and when the print was going quite well, I thought, you know what, I think I would like to have another kind. The same designer had one where one of the ears was bended a little bit. Yeah, but it didn't go quite as planned. I think one of the prints got loose on the bed or something. So yeah, it knocked one down on the floor. So I think it probably loosened here in the corner or something. So, but yeah, other than that, this one here. So yeah, this one here seems to be perfect. Yeah, and this one has to come out. It's just hollow inside. Yeah, I have two that's in perfect condition and two that's not in perfect. So yeah, one who has hair on it. Yeah, I will need to fix that. Clean up the mess. But yeah, thank God that at least two of them survived. Time to fix up all this mess. So this one here, of course, is garbage. It is kind of sad because you can see here where all the fault they began. It's just here where the ears were supposed to be created. Yeah, and as you can see, and these two here, they started with this corner down here in the bended ear, where everything just went wild. Yeah, I cannot really use these because, as you can see here on top, they are not, yeah, they're looking awful, so they will be thrown out. So yeah, just all these strings here, so they are not coming into my printer. At least these ones, they are coming off quite nicely. So at least it's just pull them, one of each. And there you have it. Now I have two that's almost perfect. Just need to get a knife, scrape off all the corners, and there we go. There you have it. Now the whole thing is hollow, and I can even put a small candle in here, so it will be showing some light. I will show that after. But now for this small other one. The one who didn't completely fail, but have some minor issues. So as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, but there are some small ridges on this one here. Yeah, it's not really that noticeable compared to when you see the other side. So it is looking quite fine still. So I'm happy about that. Two that survived. And 4 small ones. Let me show you about these ones with some light inside. If it is visible right now because there's so much light coming from outside. But yeah, this one and a small electric candle sitting like so. Yeah, you can see it is flickering inside. So then of course this small one also. Yeah. Give you a bit of view. So as you can see, it is flickering inside, and then when it's getting more dark outside, it will be looking way more nice. I can guarantee that. So I just need to take more of these ones and place inside. And of course this one can take the whole thing inside. So yeah, there are some small cute candles. So the idea is that now before I had to use 4 of each, but now that 2 of them they failed, so I'll have to use 2 small ones and just 1 large one. And they were supposed to be sitting with each ball like so, with some delicious candy inside. Some eggs from Spangsberg candy, with marzipan inside. Some, these are just sugary everything. And then some nice chocolate bites just to give the nice scent. Something maybe like this here. Yeah. Now I just need to have my guest coming, and we'll have an enjoyable time. And I will show you guys what I will be doing my whole Easter. So I hope you will enjoy for the rest. So I'm on my way to my father's camping place here in the Easter. The reason why I'm going to his place is because they needed some help with some temperature lockings in the small stove they have. But on my way down there, I came, of course, to the island's main road. It is an artificial road where it's just splitting the seas. And the funny thing about this place is that when it's very windy, one side there will be huge waves and plenty of wind, while the other side there will also be the same kind of wind, but the water will be totally flat. And it is actually also a very popular spot for windsurfers because of the strong wind and the just flat waters. But yeah, you will be able to see what I mean when we're gonna go crossing the road. So, but yeah, this here is one of my favorite spots when I'm going to this island. So out there is the island and the small road on the side. And if you look down here, here's a small quick map of it. So as you can see, I'm right there, and this here down there is the main road, and this here is Hellas. So over here we will have the strong water with the wind, and in this small area there will be almost completely just flat waters. So it's quite fun area. But yeah, you will see what I mean soon. So now I am on the island. So you can see the two seas on each side. One is yeah, it's quite strong, and the other one is just it's just silent. So if you're coming to this place here at some point, I would highly recommend coming to, just for the view, and yeah, if you are a windsurfer, come and try it. It's a very Just want to show you guys the other side of the island now that it's so windy, so you can see what effect it will be on the other side. So as you can see here, this small place here is completely dried out of water. Well, almost completely dried out. And out here we have a Bave Bridge. So I will show you how amazing it is when it's windy. So, yeah, usually when I'm bathing here, I would at least have water all the way above my knees. But as you can see right now, I can just walk directly outside. Here I have a bathing bridge. So yeah, usually the water will go all the way up to here, normally. That's quite a distance from my legs. Out here you actually can fish for trout and sometimes mackerel, but it's mainly trout. Nah, better get back to the place and start making those temperature overviews. So now I'm in my father's cafe, where I needed to install these data loggers so they could see how the temperature was on all the freezers, and at the same time have an alarm system if they should forget to close one of the lids or something. And I have already installed everything. So in here they have these two big coolers. So one you can see is just a fridge for 2 degrees Celsius, and the other one is a freezer for -18. So as you can see up here is the small unit. It's just a Testo 162T2, and what it is installed is just right now it's just on a battery mode, and then it has 2 sensors. So one for each side, just going by the door, like so. This was for these two. The other one is in here. So we have this freezer, and as you can see, I took the sensor through the side right here. Just drilled the hole through. So it's just a hole through right here. And then the other one is just what with the cable is, because the cable is 2 meters. And right here is another unit, same kind, just one sensor. As you can see right now it's -17.1. So 19.5, because I set these ones for only updating every 5 minutes. Because the more you take these for updating, the more power they will use on the batteries, so they will die faster. But yeah, next time I'm planning to install just a main for every one of them, so they don't need to rely on the batteries. So that freezer there was just for all the food storage we need for the small cafe. So this here is where you would usually get your ice cream when you get into a store. And it has the same thing, same kind of sensor. The cable is nice and tucked in, drilled through the side. There you go. And then the sensor is just hanging in here. So nice and neat. And right now this one here is, as you can see, 16.4 degrees. But that is because the freezer is not turned on right now. They are first going to use this freezer in 2 days, so it would just be waste of money to have this been going. And here is the last freezer. So this one here, with all these pin eyes. So same thing again, sensor through the side, and the sensor is sitting right here. And this freezer here is -21.9, So yeah, it's a nice setup because yeah, the only thing you need is just a Wi-Fi, and then you can just add all the data loggers that you want to. The only thing that is though is that on the cloud service you will need to adjust how many data loggers you need and have installed on your system. And at the same time, it has to be from a verified company that you buy these. You cannot just buy them and just set them up and use it on the cloud service by themselves. They have to be through a verified supplier. But that is just the small details, and it's very easy to get through. So basically, what this system here will be used for is just to see what the temperature is through a timeline, because they need it for control from their food administration. And then of course they also need it mainly to be protected for themselves in case somebody should forget to close the lid, or one of the freezers might be standing open, or the power is for some reason tripping. Fix what the issue might have been, so they are not losing quite a lot of money on these products. But yeah, other than that, it's just very simple. Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but yeah, Wi-Fi, cloud, and then you have this faulty indicator right here. The reason why this one here is showing a faulty indicator right now is because inside the cloud service I placed them to be maximum -21 before it would come with a warning indicator. But yeah, it was only for testing. So next thing I need to do is to redo all the setups and then make it more nice. But yeah, other than that, now everything here is ready to go. So I just need to set up all the notifications and so on. And one more thing that is quite important. If you are going to maybe do something similar like this, or has something maybe tempted to do in another project or something in the future, if you're going to drill into a freezer, always do it from above. So that means the lid or something like that, because all the way on the sides of a freezer there are running cooling pipes, and they can be in different patterns and so on. So only drill into a freezer if you know what you are doing, because if you are going to hit one of the pipes that's in the freezer, then you are almost guaranteed that the freezer won't work anymore. So, but there's always one nice rule to think about. As you can see, I drilled up here, that's above this line. Usually up here, this area will be without coolings. I can show you from this side also. So when you see inside the freezer here, this area is where the cooling is coming from, and up here, this is just the plastic piece where the lid is connected to. So when you see from this area here and down here, up here there should almost never be, but it depends on which kind of cooler you are doing the work on. So in my case, I knew exactly what I was doing, so I knew that there shouldn't be anything up here. But yeah, always make sure that you have the right knowledge about your freezer, so you won't drill into it and damage it, because if you are going to damage it like I told, then the freezer will be dead. I can guarantee for that. So just make sure that you are knowing what you're doing. It will be quite annoying to kill your freezer. So now I am back at my small cozy office again, and as I told you guys down in the small cafe, I wanted to show you how this Testosaurus cloud service functions. Basically just what are the features, functions, and what you can use it for, to show you how powerful this tool is compared to how much effort you have to put into it. Well, when I say this effort, it is meant because, as you saw, I just had the controller and then a temperature probe, and basically the only thing I did was just to insert the probe into the controller, put on the Wi-Fi, and then activate it into the count, and then it was basically just running by itself. So what I want to show you now is the system. There we go. And here you can see this is the main page that you will get into when you log into the cloud. So here you have measurement site status. So this is for all the data loggers and temperature sensors. So they will be displayed over here. And here you have the data coming in. So you can see this is from today, what time it was last updated, and the current temperature of this cooler. And then of course which measurement profile each of these sensors are configured into, and what notification group each has to be notified. But anyway, as you can see over here, we have data monitoring. So we are right here right now, and then we have this measurement profiles. And as you can see, I have made 2 measuring profiles. You can make more if you need to, basically just one for each controller, one for each sensor, and so on. But in my case, all the freezers needed to be in the same range of allowance, the same temperature profile, same warning, and same alarm. So it was only needed to be in just one profile for everything. So if we take the refrigerator right here, you can see this is the name for it. This is how often it has to be updated to the cloud. You can do it more often if you need to, or less. And then here you can take it for which kind of sensor it is. In this case it is a temperature sensor. And down here you can configure how you want the values to be specific for this profile. So as you can see, there's a lower alarm value, lower warning, upper warning, and upper alarm value. And right here is where I want this refrigerator to be inside. So if it should come under 1 Celsius degree or 5 Celsius, then it should trigger a warning. So that would be neither an email, a push notification on the phone, or SMS. But in this case, SMS is not turned on, because that would cost a little fee every time they're gonna get one of those. So yeah, we just chose to save the money and just get the other ones. We can choose to have a SMS if it's gonna be necessary. Anyway, and you can see the alarm will trigger if it's gonna come under 0 or above 7 degrees. Because as you know, in the fridge, if it gets too cold, all the products will be damaged, and if it gets too hot, they will also be damaged. So it just has to be in this range here. And sometimes there will be faulty readings, such as if somebody should open the door or the lid or put new products inside and so on. The temperature will rise because of the hot air will get into the freezer, and some of the cold air will get outside, or the new products might be a little hot or something like that. Then I have taken this delay on the warning and alarm delay. Basically just to make sure that we don't have any of these small annoying errors coming and going. Anyway, and for the first temperature measurement profile, it is basically just the same parameter, same updating cycle, temperature, same delay on the warning and alarm. The only difference is of course just the values in here. So I want the freezer to be between minus 22 and minus 18. And then I just want to have a warning if they get under that or above that. So same thing. Anyway, now it's time for my favorite page, and that is the data analyst. And as you can see right now, there's no data at all, but I can choose which temperature sensor I want to look at. In this case, I'll just take everything so you can see it. So we can take and highlight this area, and here you can see there's a bunch of data. This line here, that is the freezer for the ice cream they sell in the store. So you can see right now it is quite hot inside the freezer, but that is mainly because it was not turned on. And over here the freezer is turned on, and then you can see it's just going very nice down, and then it just keeps on a steady temperature around minus 18. And the same for the fridge, that's the green one right here. Here you can see the fridge just going in a nice pattern all the time. So this would be very nice if the fridge should be not working correctly at some point. if they might have too high temperatures. They can see what the issue might be. Maybe it's in a hot summer day, or there's too many products inside the freezer, and so on. So it's a nice tool to be able to find any faults or errors that should occur, and you cannot see why when you have so much powerful information right here. And then of course these two down here, those are just for the other two freezers. So if you go over to this current date from April 11, here you can see just all the freezers and coolers, just beautiful. And as you can see, there's a little difference in these two ones here. Here the data is more rough and here is more fluent. Yeah, what it is, the difference right here is basically just here I had it to update for every 5 minutes, and over here I have it to update for every 30 minutes. Because yeah, in the beginning it was only to see if there was any errors or something like that that might have occurred, or maybe the system was not running perfect or something like that. And after this small test period, I just turned it over to another cycle, and now we have this way more nice, clean data stream. Yeah, it just looks more beautiful. And of course, if I had to start looking for faults, I can just place it down to maybe 1 minute for every measurement, and then it will be more easy to see if there should be anything. But this here is very nice. And of course, you can also see if there should be any alarms or triggers or something. So as you can see, there has been some few triggers along the way everywhere. Those are mainly because of testings. This over here, that's an alarm trigger. Let's take a look at that. You can see right now this freezer here has been around -7 when it was supposed to be all the way down to -18 and so on. But over here is -7. The reason why it was so hot inside the freezer, hot I know, is because they had to fill it up with new products. So they were of course warmer when the freezer was, so it will take a little while, and you can see the temperature is decreasing again. It takes some hours. It is just an empty freezer without a fan, so it will take a longer time. But yeah, it's just one of those nice places where you can see how the freezer is functioning and how fast it will go down in temperature and so on. But in my opinion, it is very nice. Then you can just close everything, and you can even choose a date. So they say we will only take the 9th to 10th. See what it says. And then you just have the data. Or you can just say today and so on. There are so many things you can do in this software. So, but yeah, my favorite page. Now to the next one. Here you can example, in this one you can create schedules where you don't want to have any alarms visible. For example, if you know you have some days in the week where you are going to defreeze the freezer, then you are certain that you're going to have some alarms coming that way when you're going to go above a certain amount of temperature. So we could, for example, say the freezer is going to defreeze every Monday and Tuesday, and they will start at some point, maybe the whole day. We don't want any alarms, and we can accept that the system is running like this. But in that case, they are gonna have the freezers on all the time, and they don't need to be defrozen. I think they only defreeze it maybe, I don't know the schedule. But yeah, for this one, it's just nice. And of course, then you can have this automatic report coming to your email if you want to. And you can have so much data. So you can see, you can download this report right here. There will be so much data that is just annoying to look at. But yeah, some people will find it very amusing. But in my case, I would never use this. I would just use data analyst, and then I would just take and see what everything says, and just go to like this. And then we just have all the data. it's more nice to look at this visual data. So, but down here in notification, you can set up groups. Who should get a notification if there was an alarm, if it was maybe different sites, if there was another store, so it was only the people in that store and not the other store, and so on. So you can choose how many should get notified if there should be any alarm or so on. And then down here in the data loggers, that is the page where you can see your data loggers get into, and then you can start configuring and so on. And then you can also see the status and how well the Wi-Fi is, and yeah, the battery status, or if there is a main or alarm triggered, or maybe there were a bad connection and so on. So that is visible in this one. Here we have these measurement sites, the ones I talked about up here. Everything for the sensors, they have been created down here. And down in this area, you will make each of your sensors visible for the sites, and you can even choose to have more underneath. So for example, you can just say test. When let's say this here was one cafe, and this down here was another cafe, and this here would be the fridge, and then you can make a freezer, maybe for a coffee machine, for the temperature inside the room, and so on. And you can do it basically for the same thing here. So yeah, you can play with so many things, and yeah, it's just a really nice, powerful system. But anyway, it was a quick go through of how this cloud service is functioning. So yeah, I hope you found my Easter enjoyable or entertaining, and hopefully it was not too heavy going through what I did. But anyway, I found it very amusing and enjoyable to have my family at home and have a nice Easter dinner. And so after that, going to this camping place for my father and help him with the whole system, just to make it more easy for them down there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So see you next time.